Because a lot of the things they say that people could prevent for depression is the moment they start getting in that depression, they start alienating themselves from people and just start coming in until they're just in the world by themselves. So I say, okay, how could we prevent that? Well, I'm going to program in our app where people can subscribe anonymously, those who need people to reach out to them. Yeah. And then there are going to be folks who can also subscribe who want to make time to reach out to people. Right. And so sometime you can just look at the app or even the website and just call somebody and say, hey, my name is so and so. I'm with Happy Neighborhood Project, and I just want to reach out to you. Yeah. How are you doing today? What are your plans for the evening or the weekend or whatever it is? And if there's any sense of stuff, then we're going to look at expert people being as a background to be able to take over from that. So that's what the thing I recommend. If things are not going well and you're feeling bad, instead of just letting it hold you down, shift your energy and find the kind of solution you can as much as you can.
Now, one thing that I know for myself, and I think this applies to everybody, but I'm not a psychologist.
I'm not either.
However, I think it's important for people to feel the pain.
Yes, absolutely.
So you can let go of it.
Yeah.
So you can be free of it.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that are just carrying around pain.
Yes.
And that blocks them from being happy.
Absolutely.
So it's so important, your 3-minute thing or 3 hour or whatever, 3 days.
Whatever the time frame.
I couldn't do more than 3 days, I'll tell you. There's no way that I could do that. I'm not made that way. I have to be, too much energy, So whatever it takes,
And just know with practice, you're going to do better. And just to add to what you just said, sometimes people misunderstand this whole happiness stuff. They think, you can't be happy 24/7. You can't be happy all the time. And that is true. But also in pain is part of life. I think when you can experience pain, when you can experience sadness, when you can experience all form of emotions, it makes happiness even that much exciting. So it's not in spite of.
It's the other side of all those emotions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you allow yourself to feel the pain, the anxiety, or the frustration, or whatever the emotion is, anger, then on the other side of it, when you get through it, then you can be
happy. Exactly. Yeah. And to say that you won't feel all those emotions, then that's like you're not human anymore. If somebody surprises you and you don't surprise, it's like, okay, what kind of thing is that? You go through all of the emotion. Don't drag it out. I have met a lot of people, and I'm the first to say, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a counselor, I'm just a happy guy, okay? But one of the things that I've learned, and I've talked to a lot of people, between 2009 and 2010, I interviewed over 1,000 people on the subject of happiness. Yeah. And so when you talk to that many people about one subject, you start to know a few things about it.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. I sat on the corner of the street with homeless people for like 2 hours, just trying to get into their head and understand how they get there. I've been on the golf course, with some of the rich people.
Happy?
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. You will be surprised. You will be surprised. I mean, and that's a lot of this sometimes. Again, I don't want to downplay the difficulty of being homeless, okay, and they need help and everything like that. But there are some people that actually make a decision to be there because any other place was just very difficult for them to handle. And whether it's temporarily or it became a long term, that's a whole different story.
Right.
But no, I met some homeless people that were very happy. I met some that were very bitter. Yeah. Just like I meet some very rich folks in a golf course that are happy and some very bitter. So there is no cross section about it. Yeah.
But what is one of the main threads that happiness that people in all your 1,000 or more people that you've talked to about happiness, what is like the same thread that through all those people?
Is there one? Yes, there is. I would say the biggest would be service to others.
Service
to others,
to others.
Volunteers,
Oh yeah, to make
that is the biggest.
To feel the happiness is when you give to others. Oh,
absolutely. That would be the biggest thread that I see among all of the people I've talked to. And there's very seldom that I come across someone who say they are really, really happy and I've not found a way to serve other people. I've not seen it.
Yeah.
And so when people say, "Oh, I'm too busy, I don't have time," and there was a guy I was speaking at an event, and so he came to me. He said, "Well, I heard all the stuff you were saying. That's so simple for you to be saying. You don't understand my situation." So in my mind, I'm like, "Okay, I want to understand your situation. I don't, And he said, "Well, I don't really have the time. I do this and I do that."
He doesn't have time to be happy?
Well, that's what we came up to, exactly. That's what we came up to. But he was saying he didn't have time to volunteer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, But that's actually what he came to, because when he gave me all the laundry list of why he was so busy and he didn't have time to volunteer and he didn't even have time to maintain a gratitude journal. Everything I talk about, he didn't have time for. And then when he got to a point, I just told him time out. And he was shocked. I said, "Yeah, time out." I said, "Guess what? You have 24 hours, just like I have 24 hours. You have 168 hours, just like I have 168 hours. You have 720 hours, just like I have 720 hours. If you can find 5 hours out of 720 to be of service to somebody else, then you have a problem. You need to go figure out what that problem is, and don't tell me you are busy. Busy is not it. It's time management is your problem. Go seek help with time management. And so sometimes I get to that level and just to wake somebody up that you are giving too many excuses for not being happy.
And that's the truth.
And you need to stop it.
And sometimes the truth does hurt, but
it does.
in the long run, it's going to come out anyway. So you might as well be honest.
True.
No matter what, it's how you say it.
Yeah. Well, as chief happiness officer, I can get away with a lot of stuff because they usually come to me and I take permission from them. Okay, hey, I'll ask, do I have permission to really tell it like it is? And they say sure, although they don't know what they are saying yes to, but they say yes. And I think because I spoke to so many people, yes, I'm sensitive, I'm compassionate, but I also have to wake you up. If you're just in a deep sleep.
That's why my show is called Wake Up.
You have to wake up. You have to. We live in a beautiful country, regardless of what's going on right now. We really do. When you look at living in America and you compare it to any other country, we have so many things we just take for granted.
I know.
We do.
I know. And I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at where we live, and I'm grateful.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
but
with all the greens and the whole beautiful thing.
Paradise.
Yeah, it is.
This is one of the paradises.
Yeah, you know how many people save for the whole of their life to try to make a trip one time to come here. I spoke to a group of business owners. And one of the guys was priding himself of working 16-hour a day and 18-hour a day. He is sleeping. He has been operating on 2 or 3 hour sleep, which is another thing that I really talk about. You want to be happy? Get enough sleep. Okay, give your brain time to clean up all those trash that is built up so that you are feeling lighter. So as I'm talking to this group, so we end up forming like a round circle, and one by one they're shooting questions at me. And a guy told me, and he said, "Well, I just don't have time. For 5 years, I have not traveled." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, I don't have money. Things are too expensive these days." I said, "Give me a break." I said, "What do you mean? You live in Northern California and you cannot travel? You can get into your car and drive to any tourist center within an hour drive." That people save money from different countries to come to.
Putting it in perspective, that's what you just did.
It is. Yeah. I said, unless you have a whole different thing of what vacation is, what if you live, go to Shasta, go to this, go to that, and you can Google any of these places. Some of them are just within an hour drive of you. And you're telling me you don't have enough money for gas to do that? And you say, no, I have gas money. Okay, can you spend, even if you don't have money for a hotel, there are places you can camp. And I'm very serious about this because sometimes we are looking at things that is not there. And so how could you say you've not taken a vacation for 5 years? And you're working yourself to a point where one day you just fall down and people say, what happened to him? Well, because he hasn't given himself any break for that length of time. So get into your car and drive somewhere.
A daycation.
A daycation, exactly. Or homecation, just somewhere. But that's part of the beauty that we have living in California, period. Because there are people who spend their life savings to come to one of these places and they can talk about it for the rest of their life. And we live next to it. I mean, look at the beautiful Golden Gate Park, just right here. In short, tomorrow morning I'm going to be driving to Point Reyes, just to chill for a little bit. It's not that complicated.
No, it isn't. Yeah. And people make it complicated. Yeah. And paying attention to the small things.
Yeah.
Oh my. So what other wonderful little golden nuggets can you share about being happy?
I say that, one of the things I've learned, I have 10 ways to be happy. And which was a result of talking to about it, some people. And my publisher was like, you got to write a book. I said, I don't even know what I'm doing. So what am I going to write a book about? He said, well, you've talked to so many people. You have so many experiences.
You don't know what you're doing? Oh, my goodness.
I first of all, I've written 3 books.
Yeah,
and I know the amount of work it takes to write a book.
It takes a lot of discipline.
Exactly. And so I didn't want to slow down yet for that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things are just happening organically. Yeah. And I just want them to take their turn, just to grow on their own. And so when the right time is, I will probably do that.
Of course.
So I wrote down the 10 ways to be happy. One of the things is list out the things that make you unhappy. Unhappy. Yeah. Because we have the right as human beings to be unhappy.
Yeah.
So list those things down. And then what start to happen is take them one by one and start finding out, do I have any control over this thing? If it is no, then learn to deal with it. If you have control over it, then set step in place to do something about it.
Take action.
Yeah. And so what I find out when I do that exercise, I quickly eliminate things that I truly don't have any control over. Yes, that doesn't change it. You can still feel bad, but you will not feel as bad about it.
Right.
It allows you room to deal with the things you can change.
Well, and it's also being able to detach.
Yeah.
When it's like if it's out of your control, it's like, move away, because you can't change it.
Yeah, you can.
And it's acceptance.
Yes.
That's a big thing.
It is huge. Oh, yeah, it is huge. But the truth about it, there's no way we can live happily in this world without accepting certain things.
Yeah.
There's just no way. Yeah. There's too many things.
Being human.
Yeah.
There's so many things we need to accept because everybody's different.
Yes.
And we don't always accept the differences.
Right, exactly.
And that's important.
Yeah, and I think that is playing out a lot right now. It's playing out right now. I have people that just call me and just want to talk and say, Edwin, you can't believe this. I say, what now? And he say, well, I've been friends with this person forever and they just unfriend me, and they cannot believe it. I'm like, I say, well, this is one of those things you may have to accept, because it's tough, but all of a sudden, the level of tolerance have just gone into the toilet. And that is very sad because when it's all said and done, we are still human. We still need each other.
Yes.
We're social beings. And we got to find a way to really deal with ourselves.
Well, I always feel, too, that when you decide to let a friend go or associate go, there's always someone else that comes in.
That is the truth. Yeah.
And not that I would set out to let go of somebody, unless it's not healthy.
Healthy, yeah.
If it's not healthy, then I'm because I've had to let go lifelong friends because it wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
But there's always somebody that comes, that's more on your level or whatever. Or you don't have to let go of them completely because maybe they'll come back.
Yeah.
I mean,
and also too, it's just like this gentleman when he said it. I said, one thing you have to understand with friendship, it never really go away.
Yeah.
It just never really go away.
It changes.
It changes, exactly. And you should allow that. I think I read sometime, really long time ago, they said as you progress in life, only two things change. The people you hang with and the type of book you read. You start to change your preference. And one of the things that I've really learned in
our bodies change.
That too. Yeah, that definitely do change. But it's experience that you got to understand that change and accept it.
And again, it's accepting.
Yeah.
And why people resist?
It's fear.
Fear.
Yeah. It's mostly fear.
Yeah.
And the
ego.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It still boils down to fear. I tell people, if my grandma used to say that a life that is lived in fear is a life that is half lived.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And so you have a choice. Is it fear or is it faith? Yeah.
And that's why spirituality is so important. And I'm not saying religion. Mm-hmm. But spirituality is the same as faith.
Absolutely.
Because when you have that to fall back on inside, it's easy to be happy.
Yeah, it is.
Very
easy.
I should say it's easier.
Easier, right.
It's easier to be happy because I don't want to make it sound like it's too easy.
No.
But, it like you said, it's a skill you have to work on.
Mm-hmm. And I said this.
And I'm going to work on it some more.
Hey, you're doing a wonderful job already, though. You're doing a wonderful job. I just want to let your audience know as they listen to this, there is help. If you are not happy and you want to be happy and you can't do it by yourself, ask for help.
Yeah.
They really do. And the help is not
help.
It's just
help.
Yeah, it's just help. It's just to get you started. It's to give you a jump start.
Yeah.
And once you get on the right track, you can fly again on your own. But don't let ego get in the way that I'm gonna do it myself. There might be stuff you cannot do yourself, and you just get help.
Yeah, because we're all human beings.
Yeah.
And we all need help.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
At one point in our life, depending on what's going on.
Or depending on where you're trying to aspire to.
Right. Yeah. Right. And life is short.
Very short.
So be happy.
Hey, I tried
to
be unhappy one time. I didn't like it.
I don't like it either.
I say, okay, I ain't going there
like
anymore.
I said, the 3 minutes. Forget the 3 days. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
But one thing that I do is when something happens that affects me emotionally, if I feel depression, I let myself feel it when I and then what?
Please do. Yeah.
It diffuses
very quickly
because I'm aware that I feel sad. I've had a lot of things going on in my life right now, and I realize that I've been emotional because I'm getting it from different things, and it's unfair behavior from the outside. Right. And I won't talk about it directly yet, but it's like I feel violated. I feel like crying. I've allowed myself to
cry.
That.
Absolutely.
I allow myself because if I stuff it in, I know it's still going to be there, so I might as well let it out when I feel it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
When it's when I can crawl in a corner.
And the good thing about that is when you let it out, you have control. If you boggle it in, when it decides to come out, you may have no control.
Yeah, right.
And that is not good.
I had a minister say to me one time, and I love this, is that when you cry, when human beings do need to cry because it's part of our existence, our being a human
and it's good for your eyes.
Well, and it also cleanses your soul.
Yeah. It does.
It cleanses your soul, because we're all, if we could live in that pure soul all the time, that would be wonderful. But we're human.
Right. And the old idea about men don't cry, I think that's just the biggest BS.
Oh, it is.
Because they might not cry on the surface, but they cry inside, which is worse. It's just let it out.
It causes heart attacks and diseases. Well, women do that too. Mm-hmm. It isn't just a man thing. Yeah. Like my sister-in-law now has 2 kinds of cancers, and it's because she stuffs things in.
Wow.
I know over the years, I've watched her stuff things in. She doesn't let things out. Now my brother's the opposite. He always
just everything out.
He may not cry in front of anybody, but my father used to cry. Yeah. I not very often, but I would witness him crying, and I thought that is a real man.
Yeah.
To allow himself
to let it out.
To let it, that you're human.
True. Absolutely.
Because then you leave more room for being happy.
Again, you cannot truly appreciate happiness if you have not experienced the other side of it. Yeah. Honestly, if everything is just going nice and well, after some time, your happiness just kind of taper off. But what makes it go like that is when you experience life.
That's right. And we all experience it on some level or other. We all experience it. Mm-hmm. It's just on how you allow yourself
to do it.
One
One of the things that I share is whenever something happens to us as human beings, we have depression. It's just like a situation change. Mm-hmm. Somebody lost a job. That's a situation that changed. Some of them are more drastic. Right. If you're driving on the freeway and you get a ticket, that's a situation that changes. So those are kind of things that I consider will create a situational depression. Usually a short period, you deal with it, and you can move on. But when you draw it out, whether it's because you could not manage it or whatever the reason is, that's when you've given your brain time to rewire itself. Now you're moving from what's supposed to be a situational depression now to a clinical depression because the brain is totally rewired itself. And when I started studying how the brain works, I started it with relation to happiness, and I started seeing how powerful it really is. It's trying every time to make our work easier. Sometimes it's not helping us, but it's making it easier. And I'm like, whoa, that's when I started to practice decreasing the time because I don't want to give the brain enough time to rewire itself to a new situation.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is if you stay in depression too long, your
brain thinks that is the new norm.
Your chemistry gets used to it.
Yes.
And I don't want to get used to it.
No, I don't. And nobody should.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to, again, I was invited to a grief session. And again, I say, I'm not a counselor. I'm just a happy guy. But the director of this facility invited me anyway because he said that, Edwin, you have a different angle to this stuff, and we want to experience that. Well, at the end, a month later, they invited me back because about 70% of the people that came to the session did not come back in 30 days. At first, the director was really nervous, thinking they didn't like what happened. So they started calling them one by one. And he said, oh, no, that man, he was so helpful. We didn't need to come anymore. We are already happy.
Oh, wow.
And so it was really powerful for me to experience that because you can shorten that grief period. Yeah. And the teaching is the opposite. It's like, oh, take your time. And so I'm like, it's all right, but don't take too long. Yeah. Somebody needs to stop it so you can start to live your life. Look at some of the most powerful things that exist today. It was somebody who went through a very traumatized experience and find a way to shift it into something positive. Whether it's Mother Grace drunk driving, whether it's this siren now we hear about on the police notice they give us when somebody is stolen. when they have this missing child. There is the little kid that the father helped to pioneer that concept, so that when so when you look at a lot of the things that we experience today, is a family that experience something like that and decide, you know what, I don't want to stay down for the rest of my life. I want to convert this energy into something that could help somebody else, and that's what I mean by shifting.
Yeah. Again, helping others.
Yeah, it really is. That's and the common denominator. Yeah.
Gratitude. Yeah.
And one of the lines you can draw with a lot of this happy stuff is it really don't cost money.
It's an investment in time. And yourself.
And yourself. It really is. If you're taking the time to write down your gratitude, okay, maybe the pen does cost something, but hey, and other than that, or just laughing, it doesn't cost anything. A lot of the things that truly make us happy doesn't cost too much.
Well, our society has, and I had a conversation today about how our society and the media and the outside world focuses in on money so much and materialism. Mm-hmm. And, it can give you gratitude, or it can give you that rush of feeling good, but it's short term.
Yeah.
And it's important to get that internally. That's why it's so important, I think, to have a spiritual base inside of yourself, so then you can tap into that. Just like you meditate every day.
Yeah.
I meditate, and the first thing I do is give gratitude.
Absolutely.
That's the very first thing I do.
Yeah.
I get up, go to the bathroom, come back, and I give my gratitude, and then pray for others. But again, it's others, giving to others.
Because it really reduces a lot of the burden on you.
It reduces what?
The burden. If you focus on just you all the time, it just becomes a lot of work.
It causes diseases.
And stress. People get stroke.
Yeah, and all this kind of stuff. It's tunnel vision, and it's important to be able to share with others.
Yeah.
That's why I do my show.
And you do a wonderful job.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So, is there any more wisdom that you can share other than what you have already shared?
Well, I think, people say, how can you get this practice going? I talk about just baby steps. One of the things that I always recommend is make a promise to yourself that you're going to be happy for 24 hours. Anybody can do that. Mm-hmm. 24 hours is not that long. Mm-hmm. So when you wake up in the morning, then start and just say, hey, you know what? Today, I'm going to be happy for 24 hours. Not 1 week, not 1 month, not 1 year, just 24 hours. Because 24 hours is so small, most people can reach that goal. And I said, if something happened halfway through, you didn't make it, don't worry about it. Set it from that point, 24 hours. And so that you want to really... Here is what happened with that. When you set a goal that you're going to be happy for 24 hours, you start to anticipate good stuff. You start to anticipate the best thing in people. You start to expect the best thing in you. And all of a sudden, it's like you send a message to the universe that, hey, I don't want any crap today. I just want to be happy. And sometimes the universe is in cooperation with you.
Yeah, I know.
And with practice, it just gets easier.
Yeah. May I interject?
Please, yeah.
I'm just thinking of some of the people that I have known that have been, like, perpetually depressed. I'm thinking, make a commitment for 1 hour to be happy, and then spread it to 6 hours. And I mean, these are more extreme cases, because 24 hours may seem a lot to them.
Yeah. Even in that case, don't even go an hour. If you're really, really clinically depressed, have somebody you're working with. Yeah. And I was talking with a gentleman, and he was one of those people that actually jumped out of the bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge.
He survived.
He did, yeah. He had broken spine, all kind of stuff. And now he's really thankful, and he's happy guy. And I was asking him, I said, how did you go from that? Because he said there was something in his head that was telling him he didn't deserve to live and he should just end it. And after some time, he listened to it and he was on his way going that he realized, whoa, what have I done? And so he was praying to live and he did. Even in
after he jumped?
After he jumped, yeah.
But he survived.
He survived, yeah. On his way down is when he changed his mind.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he jumped head down also.
Don't survive.
Oh no, he's one of the few people that have survived.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
If he decided on the way down.
Yeah, and he was going head first also.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he changed his mind, and that's the power in decision.
Oh wow.
Okay, and so, but at that time where he was in that situation, absolutely 24 hours will not even be conceivable. Yeah. That's when you ask for help. You ask for help and do baby step, whether it's 15 minutes, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's 1 hour, and do it in sport until. And one of the things he shared with me, which I never really even conceived was possible, but I got it when he shared it, is that he was always scared to be happy.
He was scared to be happy.
Yes, and he has spoiled of happiness, but he always pay for it later because he get even more depressed. I'm like, whoa. So that started to give me a sense of different approach. So that way, yes, you're absolutely right. Don't go 24 hours. Do 1 hour.
Yeah, I mean, I just, because I've known people that are clinically depressed and they take drugs for it, and anyway, my question is, I wonder if the man that jumped off the bridge, if he got God, if he was talking to God when he jumped.
I didn't share that part.
Yeah, okay, because sometimes I know that's very personal to people and they don't want to share.
Yeah,
but I'm real curious.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If I get another opportunity, I'll probably ask.
I mean, we all need help, and boy, he sure did need it on the way down.
Yes, he did.
Because most people don't survive.
No, it was one of the
So
few.
it was a gift that he survived. Because he can also share his story with
and that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's doing a very good job at it.
Wow. Yeah. Is he in the city?
He's right now in North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so is there any other wonderful things?
Yeah, I just say that as human beings, we need to really share ourselves, be friends. People, one of the 10 ways to be happy, I talk about, you have to make time for the 3 Fs. So they are your faith, your family, and your friends. And when you get to be too busy for those 3 things, then something is out of alignment. Yeah. And I was talking to a guy, and he said, well, I just want to do a really good job for my people. I just want to really help them. I just want to and it's just going on and on. So that's why he doesn't have time for anything else. So I said, what do you think will happen to your people if all of a sudden you just got a heart attack? And he goes, well, I never really think about that. I said, well, do you want to think about that just because of your people? Because the rate you're going, something's going to happen. So make time. That's very, very crucial. If you make time for your friends, it doesn't matter. Even some people say, oh, they are introverts. Even if you're introvert, you can still make time for the basic things, okay? And then the last thing that I want to really leave folks with is have goals. And it's not goals because you want to conquer the world or be this or be that. Because what I find out is when you have goals, when you have dreams, it gives you hope. Yes. I've never seen anybody that have goals that's depressed. Never. Yeah. It's just as I've never seen anybody that's happy that decide, you know what, I just wake up this morning, I'm so happy, I want to take my life, It doesn't mutually exclusive. No. Or you see somebody say, oh, I'm so happy today, I'm looking for somebody else to take their life. Those kind of things are just mutually exclusive. So have goals. And because that brings hope, that gives you something to work towards, and in the process, a lot of things that may be big deal are no longer big deal. So that's one of the 10 ways.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Edwin.
Thank you.
Our time is almost up.
All right.
So if there's anything else that you want to say, please say it now because our time's wrapping up.
Okay. Well, for those people that want to really follow what I do, if they go to happyneighborhoodproject.com, they'll be able to see what I do and the information. I have 2 organizations. I am Happy Project, which is a platform just to attract people to focus on their own happiness, because whatever we focus on is going to grow.
That's right.
And so I encourage people to do that. And if they go to YouTube and just type in Ask the CHO, that's ASKTHECHO, and they can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Every Monday, I do the Happy Monday. And the reason I started that is when I started to read about just the difficulty people have on Monday morning.
Monday morning is when they have the most heart attacks.
The most heart attack, the most suicide rate, the most high blood pressure, just a whole lot of stuff. So I started this Happy Monday to kind of help people set a foundation for the week so they can follow that on YouTube. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And I want to thank you for what you do.
Oh, well, absolutely. I just do it, I mean, it's not enough on some level, but I just keep doing it.
Absolutely.
Just keep doing it.
Thank you.
But thank you. I'll leave you with this. And as a reminder for all of us, never give up, even when things look impossible, especially with the events that are happening and unfolding globally. Be grateful for today, what you have. Good nutrition feeds your mind and your body temple. Feed your spirituality with meditation and prayer. Love yourself unconditionally. Stop criticizing, stop judging, forgive yourself and others. Stop allowing others to dominate the way you feel and think about yourself. Be compassionate with yourself first. Share your abundance and wealth with others in whatever form that may be. When fear knocks, let faith answer the door. We need love, unconditional love, more than ever now for what is unfolding in the government, in our government and society. Thank you, Marin TV, for facilitating our show, and especially to my crew, Brad, Ginger, and Nancy. Thank you, thank you. If you like our show, please let us know at #Marin TV or on our Facebook page. Please support and become a member of Marin TV. Bye for now until the next time.
Okay, thank you. I think it's come to an end.